Thank you, and I appreciate y'all coming. It's always nice to see a good crowd out here that we can, so we don't feel like we're just talking to ourselves. But anyway, appreciate y'all for coming. And at this time, I will call on our former, yeah, he's been around a long time, and I guess he's going to be around a lot longer.
I hope so.
And Mr. Buddy Fowler, will you lead us in a word of prayer?
I'll be glad to, Mary. Thank you. Let's bow our heads. Our Father, we come to you tonight with a humble heart, thanking you for all that you've done for us, Father. We know that through you all things are possible. We ask you to continue to be with those who need their spirit lifted up, mend and heal those that need mending and healing, Father. We ask you to continue to bless this country. We have a long ways to go, Father. We seem to be falling apart. Help us with our unity, Father. Bring us back together. Make us one strong nation under your guidance, Father. We ask you to also be with our military that's overseas and be with their families here at home. Be with those that are here at home and their families, Father. Those that are sick, we ask you to reach out, Father, lift up their spirits, lift up their family, be with them and heal them, Father, if it's your will. We ask all these things in your most precious name. Amen.
Amen. And now another one that's been around a long time, Don Helms, lead us in our pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, you may be seated. And at this time, I would like to ask Chief Voorhees.
Right.
Oh, there he is. Slipped up on my backside. Okay. And Jason, would you come forward, please? And I think you have done something important.
Sure.
And Mr. Voorhees has got something to present you. That's all right. I just appreciate you doing it, and he has been awarded the Criminal Investigator Certificate for the North Carolina Justice Academy. And how long you've been an inspector?
Been here? Next month will be 16 years.
16 years. We appreciate it. Look forward to your retirement. when you get there. In other words, you're going to stay with us till you retire. But anyway, I'll turn it over to the chief now to present you your certificate.
Thanks everybody for coming. I know it's a public meeting, but I wanted to recognize one of our officers. Like you just heard, Sergeant Hartsfield has been here since September of 2006, and next month he's going to celebrate 16 years here with the town. Jason currently serves as our detective sergeant and oversees all investigations in the detective division. And he recently reached a milestone in his career, and he was awarded the Criminal Investigator Certificate from the North Carolina Justice Academy. So to put that in perspective for everybody, what that certificate entails is, first you have to be accepted into the program. Secondly, you have to complete 400 hours specifically targeted towards criminal investigation. Some of the courses that he finished are crime scene investigation, interview and interrogation, domestic violence institute, crime scene or sex crime investigation, and the list continues from there until actually 400 in the classroom hours are completed. And let me share a couple notable cases that Jason worked on. After a series of thefts and break-ins and numerous other crimes, Jason was able to investigate and develop suspects. The investigation led him to other jurisdictions, and he worked with numerous detectives from Wilmington to Atlantic Beach and all jurisdictions in between. His work provided patrol officers with the identities and vehicle descriptions of the suspects, which subsequently led to the arrest in Surf City. These suspects were charged with over 200 felony counts in 4 counties. His work undoubtedly ended that crime spree. It went on from Atlantic Beach all the way to Wilmington. Numerous vehicle break-ins, larcenies, robberies, you name it, they were doing it. And it was Jason's work that broke that case wide open and led to the arrest and the subsequent charging. Another case I wanted to share with you. After an armed robbery occurred in Surf City where 4 men conspired and robbed 3 victims at gunpoint, Jason completed a 3-month investigation, worked with NCIS and the Jacksonville Police Department, and was able to secure convictions on 4 suspects, as well as solve other crimes that happened in other jurisdictions. 3 of the suspects received a 4-year active prison term, and the 4th received felony probation. These cases are a small amount what he does every day for us in Surf City. He undoubtedly makes Surf City a safe place to work, live, and visit. Congratulations, you're doing a great job. This is the actual certificate that came from the North Carolina Justice Academy. I'm going to present that to Jason today. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Well, while I'm up here, let's see. Dr. Hill, would you come forward, please, and Frank along with him? I got a text, I don't know, what has it been, about 3 weeks ago now?
Yeah.
Saying that Dr. Hill was going to be director of the Chamber of Commerce. And I said, he ain't going to be a busy man, because I know he was busy to start with. You know, he was school superintendent. So I said, I don't know about that. I don't know how he's going to do all that. Then I found out he had retired. Here I was thinking I was an old man and he was a young guy, and he's retiring. Now something's wrong with that. I don't know what it is. I'm still working, so.
Well, that's what I'm planning on doing, is still working.
Do I? Yeah.
I just don't want to
But anyway, I appreciate you taking it, and I know they do, and I'll turn it over to Scott. Okay? You want to tell them about who he is?
Well, yeah, sure. Thank you, Council, for giving us a few minutes of your afternoon this evening for the purpose of introducing Dr. Hill. We're excited about having his leadership on board with this as we continue to progress, as we have been for the last couple of years in a lot of areas. We know he'll bring his expertise to everything we've been trying to do, from economic development, which you've been hearing us talk about for quite a while for the past 18 months, keeping in alignment with the community's needs and wants. Programs like the Beach Clean Initiative, working with the Shoreline Commission, the Coastal Federation and their programs with ocean-friendly establishments. Everything we can do that inspires and contributes to having a nice, healthy community. So with that, I'll turn it over to Dr. Hill to say a few words, but again, we're thankful that he's come on board, and we're looking forward to doing great things with our communities all working together. And you'll hear more about the economic development as that committee's coming together actually this Friday. We've been talking about putting a summit together, a regional summit, and a lot of those stakeholders and the committee members are coming together Friday to start talking about putting a date on that so we can actually have something on the calendar. So we're looking forward to all of these great things to continue working on. So I'll turn it over to Dr. Hill.
So the good news is I keep getting to work with old friends and people in the community, and that's really what I want to do. I will say this is just another step that God's put in front of my life. It's another door that's open, and I'm looking forward to it. A lot of good things are happening already with the chamber I'm familiar with, because I have a very diverse life. You've had a law enforcement officer receiving a great award today. I started off in life as a fireman, EMT, worked as a cop for 5 years, reserved for another 5 years, moved into education, moved from education to a regional position in North Carolina's Eastern region. If you're not familiar with that, that's basically an economic development region. And I did all their workforce development. So when they were doing that program that you're talking about, we actually was out of my office as that was happening several years ago, and I was able to be privy to some of that work. So I got to spend about 7 years actually working in economic development. And so if you've ever heard of STEM education, we kind of pushed that. If you ever heard of work keys, that came out of that work and things like that. So that was all economic led. It was all workforce led. At that time, my table consisted of Vidant. It consisted of High Street Yale, consisted of FRC East. These were the people that were sitting at my advisory table. I had 11 superintendents on this side, and then I had Duke Energy at the end. I had Golden Leaf at the end, Biogen at the end. And so we were doing multi-million-dollar contracts to build workforce development programs to build economic development for these types of companies. So it was actually preparing me, I think, for what we're doing here today. So some of the people sitting at that table are actually the ones that Scott's talking to now about trying to bring that to this area and pumping in economic development. So it felt right. Everything feels good. God, like I said, left me here for 5 years to run the largest company in this district. I think people forget that, is that the school system basically employs 10 times more people than the next employer. I mean, you think of the largest employer you have in Pender County, we're at least 10 times probably bigger than that employer. And I mean, we're a small city, kind of like Surf City. Matter of fact, next to Surf City, we're the second largest city when I think our campus is in session at Topsail. I think we're the second largest city in the county. So that tells you kind of what I've been privy to deal with some things like that. And I just thought, well, now's a good time to bring all of those years together, which are 32 plus years actually, because I worked full time when I was in college. So all those years accumulated to me standing here today. And I hope that will be something I can offer to you guys. I hope to continue the relationships we have. Very close to some of you, worked very hard with some of you. I know your dedication. I know your dedication to this community, and I'm looking forward to sitting beside you. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate your working with us along with the schools, and we've done a lot of things together
Yes, sir.
with the town and all, so we look forward to working with you in this also.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, have we got somebody here from the Turtle Shell Key West? Yep, he came up here a while ago, but I lost him then. Come on up. All right. This man has done right much in Surf City and is doing more. So we appreciate what you have done and what you will be doing. And this is on his, what is that, your second project, second big project?
Probably fourth or fifth one, but yeah, it's second one here.
Yeah, so you're talking about here, yeah.
Yeah.
Second big one here. So anyway, we appreciate it. He's working on his third one, and then his fourth one, and then his fifth one. And he keep right on going. So anyway, we do appreciate it. Thank you a lot.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
And Penzic, how am I supposed to say that?
You got it.
Did I get it? Okay. You accept it anyway, right? They're the family, and they're from 109 Twilight Court. Twilight Zone. But anyway, they have done a fantastic job around their home too, and got it looking great. And they have put something up that you have got to do some work to catch up with them. So we appreciate them doing it, and I hope that a lot of you keep working and catch up with them, and you'll get one of these as well.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. And both of those are from our beautification department, and we have two people from the beautification, three people from the beautification. So three, yeah. Counting you.
Not me, yeah.
Yeah. I about overlooked your head, but anyway.
No, I don't have any hair.
Yeah. So anyway, but we appreciate y'all keeping your eyes open and finding these places and giving them the awards. We do. Okay. Next on the agenda, I need to make some remarks. And anyway, we ask all attendants set their cell phones to silent or vibrate mode. The council should offer the public an opportunity to speak during the meeting. Comments should be held to 3 minutes each. And what is it the TV's going to do?
It'll, the timer will be on the television, and 3 minutes it'll flash, and 3 minutes and 15 seconds there will be an audible noise.
Okay, so if you get the audible voice, you know you need to quit, okay? The flash, you can cool off at that time. So anyway, when the audible sound comes on, though, you'll be asked to quit. Anyway, citizens will be acknowledged in order that they signed up to speak. All address will be commented comments to the board as a whole and not one individual. Speakers will address the council from the speaker's podium at the front of the room. Will begin their remarks by stating their name and address. Discussions between speakers and members of the audience are not allowed. Groups or individuals seeking to speak on the same topic of concern will need to pick an individual to speak to represent the group as a whole. Public comment is not intended to require the council to answer any impromptu questions. Speakers are expected to be civil in their language and presentation. Any comments where the primary purpose is to promote business or candidacy shall not be allowed. In accordance with the council's adopted rules of procedures, council members shall reserve response, if any, for the council forum. Okay. You got the names?
Go to the consent agenda.
Huh?
Go to the consent agenda. Do the agenda.
Well,
and
oh
then
yeah,
public.
okay. I was going, okay, that's right. Okay, adoption of agenda.
I make a motion, we adopt it.
Now,
Second it.
okay, what about, is there a change?
On the consent agenda, I want to remove the Terrace Phase 3 and put it on the new business, put it in the new business.
That will be added to the agenda.
Right.
Okay, so we're adding Terrace Phase 3 to the agenda and removing it from the consent agenda, right?
Right.
Okay, all right. Approval of consent agenda,
As amended.
As amended.
okay. All in favor, raise your hand. Both of them? Okay. All right, now, your name, your list of names now. We'll go into public comment at this time.
Jesse Zimmer.
Hi, Council. My name is Jesse Zimmer. I own 9 different properties in Surf City. It's 606 South Topsail. It's just one of them. I'm having some difficulty with the paid parking, and I guess I'm just trying to understand exactly what it works. I currently have 9 properties that are listed under an LLC. So I'm trying to decipher if that's going to be under a residential where I need to verify my residency on each of my registrations, or if I fall under a business pass where I just have a verification of ownership of the property. And then I can, because currently right now I'm being told that I cannot register a vehicle unless it's titled under the company's name. I don't have any vehicles under the company's name that owns any property. So realistically, I would be allowed 18 passes if it was a business, or up to 36 if it was a residential, if I paid the $100 extra for the 2. So I'm just trying to determine on how I can get parking passes or what passes I can get, because according to the rules that I have printed out from Surf City, I would consider a property that's owned by an LLC a business. And if it was a business, that's all I have to do is verification of ownership of the property. And I could be able to put any of my team's license plates underneath a parking pass.
No, if you're a business, you can. Now, you can, if you're a business, then you can buy a business license, and then you have to register each one of the vehicles
Okay?
and pay for each one of them.
But under this, it's free. You have 2 passes under a business.
Right.
So that's all I'm trying to determine on a property that you're gonna be your rentals. There's gonna be 9 to 14 different rentals. Do you consider those as a town as residentials or businesses?
One business.
One
You got
business.
an LLC, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's one, well, maybe I'm not right. Kyle,
And I've met with Mr. Zimmer about this, and I'm currently working with Pivot, but it is not the town's intention to register an LLC. Mr. Zimmer operates LLC out of a Hampstead location, is
Yep,
that correct?
currently.
So I'll continue to work with Mr. Zimmer. I'm currently waiting on some information from Pivot, in regards to their administration of the licenses. They're not actively enforcing, because what is going on is that He was parking a dump trailer, and that's what got attention. I got a complaint about it, investigated it, met with Councilman Shugarts, met with Mr. Zimmer about this, and right now there's, we're trying to work out some policy stuff, and I just asked for his patience on it, because to my knowledge, Pivot is not actively enforcing on
Well,
the
by new
situation.
properties, it's going to become, I don't know how they're going to be able to monitor the difference between, I'm sorry, I should quit. Between my vehicles or other vehicles. So it's just, if we put a label on them, just my last property that's in a paid parking area. I'm not trying to cause trouble or do anything. I met with these guys just to try to be able to let people.
I would suggest that you get back with the manager and talk with him about it.
That's fine. I'm just trying to better understand it.
Okay.
Yep,
All right.
thank you. Appreciate it.
Sandy Monroe.
Our beautification lady.
Sandy Monroe, 316 North Shore, and yes, I'm here on behalf of the Beautification and Enhancement Committee. I just wanted to share with all of you that August 1st was our deadline for mural submissions, and I'm very excited to announce that we had 16 submissions for the mural project. And currently, we are going through the vetting process with our intermediary, and then we will be reviewing all of the submissions, and we will be prepared to share our recommendations with the council at the next workshop. And then I also wanted to give a shout out, a thank you to the town's streets department, because on Monday morning I noticed how trashy the streets were looking in the morning around 8 o'clock when I took my little dogs for a walk. And I picked up some things along the way, but then by 5 o'clock when I drove through town again, it was spotless. And I just wanted to say thank you because it looked really great. So that's it.
Thank you. Nobody else? Huh?
Public hearing.
Okay. All right. If nobody else wants to speak, we'll go to the public hearing. And this is on annexation of town of Surf City. And it's, I'll read the numbers, 4235-227321-0000 and 423-523-1997-0000. Okay. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
I'll make a motion, we open the public hearing.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor? Public hearing is now open. Anybody wishing to speak?
Can't we let them know what property that is?
Huh?
Can't we let them know what property that is?
This is the approximately 45 acres. It's going to be the park, the new park project. So it's owned by the town.
I imagine everybody's okay with it, but
And it was suggested or recommended by planning that we do G1, which
Right.
is all the town properties.
okay. Nobody's speaking. Do I have a motion to close public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Public hearing closed, and
I make a motion, we approve the request.
approve the
as
annex.
presented.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, raise your hand. Okay, all right. Next public hearing is Appendix A, Section 2, zoning ordinance amendment. And do you want to speak on that?
Making a motion to open it.
Huh?
They're
Say
making a motion to open it.
what?
Are you making a motion to open it first?
Yeah. Okay. Do I have a motion to open
I'll make a
public
motion.
hearing?
I'll make a motion,
Well, I
we
think
open.
we get her up here.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, now you can walk up. I figured I'd give you time to get up here and then.
Tonight before you in the public hearing is a revision to Appendix A, the zoning section 2.0 general provisions. The Town of Surf City created a designated code enforcement officer in 2019. Since then, the code enforcement officer has worked to enforce the code as written. The town is also working on the comprehensive land use plan update, which will lead to the update of our zoning ordinances. Since we will start updating our ordinances within the next year, staff has not been bringing forward ordinance changes unless the ordinance creates an enforcement issue. The attached ordinance revision focuses on two areas of Appendix A, Section 2. The first ordinance revision request is for Section 2.4.11, Application of District Regulations, Truck Trailers. This ordinance regulates the use of truck trailers for storing and selling goods. As written, the ordinance currently prohibits the use of trailers for storing goods, but does allow for limited sales opportunities associated with a brick-and-mortar store. Also, a provision allows for a temporary permit for storing materials for construction or remodeling purposes. During enforcement of this ordinance, town staff has received multiple comments and questions regarding the definition of a truck trailer. This ordinance originated with the use of Connex-type boxes as storage throughout town. Staff has included pull-behind trailers as well as units that arrive and leave on a trailer or flatbed truck in the enforcement of this ordinance. As a part of this revision, the ordinance has been expanded to include storage containers. Examples of common types of storage containers have been added. Connex, the different kinds of pods, all of those have been added in there. The revision allows for limited seasonal use within the C1 zoning district. This change would consist of storing rental equipment such as surfboards, bicycles, and equipment associated with watercraft rentals during the summer season as defined by the parking season. The pertinent revised section of the ordinance is below for your review. The entirety of the section is attached with the edits shown so you can see what was there and what we took out. So I can pause now and we can answer any questions on the first one before we roll into the second portion, or I can continue through the zoning.
Anybody got any questions? Okay.
The second set of changes in this request addresses the official zoning map. Section 2.6, provision for official zoning map, and Section 2.7, replacement of official zoning map, do not recognize digital signatures. This change would allow the town GIS technician to make changes to the map and sign each revision instead of us printing it out and hand signing it. The pertinent revision, again, is below for your use with the marked up version in your packet if you would like to look at that. That is all that I have.
That's it? Okay. Do I have a motion to
We have-
approve?
We have public comment on this one.
Oh, is there any public?
Mr. Morris signed up.
Morris, okay.
Peggy had the question too. The other guy did. The turtle shell.
No. Hi, council. I have no issue with the new ordinance as far as that goes. The only thing I wanted to possibly make note of or something that it says for storage only as far as the trailer conditions. Y'all know I do the boat rental there next to One Stop across from Sears Landing. I have an air conditioner on that unit, and I want to make sure it's okay that I sit in there because I can't deal with the heat so well. So I have a mobile air conditioning unit hooked up there. I just wanted to make sure that it's okay that I am able to sit in there during the day in the air conditioner because it does specify storage only, and I want to make sure that I'm in compliance with everything as far as that goes. So I don't know if I need to address with that or whatever. Just bring that up, make sure that I'm okay doing that.
That's not covered under the
it's
ordinance,
not.
is it?
No, sir.
Yeah, so I just want to make
Is
sure.
it excluded under the ordinance?
I thought it was if it was primarily for storage.
Aren't you in
You
and,
could still be in there and sit there.
aren't you in and out of that storage building quite often?
Yeah.
So you could be a long time coming out or a short time coming out.
Yeah, back and forth, yeah.
Okay, I don't see that big a problem with it.
Okay, well, but the problem is we need to let the enforcement know too. Right?
Doesn't the attorney need to rule on that? Is it in conflict?
As far as it being occupied, you know, while he's there running, during the day, while he's there working the business, is he allowed to occupy the trailer?
As a home,
No.
Just to come in and out of while he's there during the heat?
I'd like to look into that a little deeper instead of answering it on the fly
Okay.
and make sure I understand the
Yeah,
question.
it's a trailer that I keep my life jackets and everything in, and I sit in there because the air conditioner, the heat, I just can't stand the heat, and I just want to make sure I'm in compliance with everything there.
So this is actually brought up today because of the storage, the boat rental units. They all have trailers that they use for storage. Some of them sit in them during the day. The way that air zoning ordinance was written, those trailers couldn't be there at all for storage, which made everybody out of compliance. The town wanted to work with the boat rental and bike rental community and come up with a compromise, and the compromise was to have that trailer there. They could store their stuff on it. Most all of them pull them off as soon as the season ends. You know, hurricanes come and it makes it easier for them to remove all of their stuff at once. So that was our attempt at that compromise. I don't know that it clearly says you can't. I mean, you can go in there and get your stuff out.
Yeah.
Right. And so the question is whether sitting in there to avoid the heat constitutes occupancy, is that what?
Yes, I think that would be the question, whether that changes it from the storage of the materials to an occupancy or
Yeah,
or a
he's not
different
living
use.
in there, he's just
Well,
going
that's
in
what
there.
but that's my next question. I mean, it's kind of
containers and all
it's
that.
kind of a fact-specific inquiry, so, I mean, are you staying there overnight?
No, Lord, no. No, I'm just standing out there. I just.
And Mayor, I,
And only during business hours. He's not hanging out playing cards at night or any fun things like that either.
Or, I really don't want to wing a legal opinion, Mayor and council, but if you're not staying there overnight and you're in there, that's no different than me sitting in my car. But if you want a formal opinion, I'll be happy to reduce that opinion in writing with my analysis, if that's the direction of council.
Okay. Do we need a formal opinion or just?
I don't recommend staying there overnight.
We have
I would
other
think common
ordinances for
sense
that.
would prevail.
Or cooking out of it, or anything like that, or washing clothes.
I've been over there and he didn't have a thing to eat, so.
All right.
I don't see a problem with it.
Mr. Morris just wants to remain in compliance. He doesn't want to cause any
That's what I'm
trouble.
saying. I don't
No,
want
and-
somebody go giving him a fit.
I think it's commendable that you ask.
I mean, I want to make sure all my Ts are crossed and my Is are dotted.
Yes,
So,
sir.
I'm doing this for
From
26
what
years, and
I'm-
I'd like to continue.
From what I'm hearing here, I don't believe that would run afoul of our code.
Good. All right, just wanted to make sure.
But I'll get with Ms. Kimes as needed, and if we need to dig into it deeper, be happy to, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay,
You got someone else?
yeah.
So, we also have Surf City Line, and one of our buildings out there, I'm sure this partially is because of our Connex out there too. No? Oh, okay. That's good. We have a building out there that we use for dry storage of goods, and it also has a little window unit in it, so it's not 120 degrees in the building. Would that make that building out of compliance?
No, you can condition your stored goods in any way as long as it is a building meeting a structure. If it is a connex, it should not be being used for that use.
Right. It's not
We just
meeting a
remove-
structure. It's like a storage shed type deal.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you can condition your space.
Okay. Good. Just wanted to be clear.
Okay, anybody else got any questions?
Make a
Or
motion to
comments?
close the hearing.
Okay, to have a second?
Second.
All in favor, raise your hand. Okay. Do I have a,
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the zoning amendment requested.
okay. All right, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carried. Thank you, sir. All right. New business. Surf City Live procurement resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and good afternoon. This resolution is before you in working with our council, looking at contracts in preparation of a Surf City Live event in the fall. It became apparent that certain contracts necessitated a board resolution to provide the manager authority to execute those on behalf of the town. And specifically not executing those on behalf of me as an individual. So that Mr. Eads and I felt that this was appropriate to get this before you. Any contracts executed would be capped at $50,000 in order for myself to review those. So in working with the attorney, of course, we both look at these and we just want to provide the maximum protection to the town moving forward with this appropriated event.
Okay.
Yeah,
I would just add, one of the contracts we reviewed require specification that it's an authorized representative as opposed to an individual. So they are contracting with the town of Surf City, not Kyle Brewer individually. And secondly, in addition to the financial cap, we lay out a general description of the type of contracts as they relate to the live event. So this is not a carte blanche authorization to enter into any contract less than $50,000. It has to meet those two criteria.
Okay. Is that what you want a motion for?
Yes, sir. Approval of the resolution.
I make a
Okay.
motion we approve the
Resolution.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Raise your hand. So moved. Okay.
Terrace Phase 3.
Yeah.
Amy?
Let's see, do we need Amy to present it again?
Excuse me. Tonight, the applicant, Charles Poindexter, is asking for final plat approval of the terraces Phase 3. Phase 1 of the terraces was approved by council on March 2nd, 2021, with Phase 2 being approved on March 1st, 2022. Phase 2 was approved with the following condition. The approval for lots 7 through 29 shall be conditioned so that they do not receive the certificate of occupancy until the cul-de-sac construction has been signed off by staff. Phases 1 and 2 consist of the first 36 lots. The Phase 3 request consists of 9 lots located along Terraces Lane and Paver Lane. This request includes lots 19 through 22, 61, 62, 35, and 34. Excuse me. All lots front existing roads and are not located within a cul-de-sac. After this request, 45 of the 76 platted lots will be recorded and available for construction. Mr. Poindexter has completed the installation of the majority of infrastructure and provided appropriate documentation to the town regarding stone testing. He is in the process of receiving a letter of credit for the remaining work in phases 1 through 3, with the exception of correcting the cul-de-sac. Mr. Poindexter is requesting approval of the final plat for Phase 3 of the terraces tonight.
Got a question.
Yes, sir.
Before this is not giving him approval, he's got to complete that cul-de-sac to everybody's specification before.
The way that the condition on Phase 2, so there's multiple cul-de-sacs in the subdivision
Right.
that have to be repaired.
Right.
Phase 2 touched one of those cul-de-sacs. So Phase 2 was conditioned that I can't issue a CO. So a building permit can be issued, they can build the house, but we can't issue a certificate of occupancy for the house until the cul-de-sac has been fixed. The lots that he's requesting tonight are on straight sections of the roadway and do not touch one of those cul-de-sacs.
So if I'm understanding this correctly, then he doesn't have a letter of credit on file right now, but he's expected it to come at any time.
Correct, he is in process of getting one.
The phase two cul-de-sac that we're talking about, if we go ahead and tentatively approve this tonight on condition that the letter of credit be on file before that happens, and that the cul-de-sacs be completed before any CO can be issued, would that take care of the situation?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Is there a time frame? Is there a time frame?
I have not been given one, but Mr. Poindexter is here.
Can you have that letter of credit stuff and all the other stuff finished by the end of this month?
Yes, I should have the letter of credit in the next day or two. I thought I was gonna have it yesterday.
So I'll have the letter of credit. The little bit of confusion here, what Don was asking about was, I'm already conditioned from the last council meeting on phase two for the cul-de-sac construction, which will be underway, Teresa, to your point, in time within the next 30 days. So that's happening. This is just an additional 9 lots to keep the builder moving, and the town required a performance bond for anything and everything that was not completed in phase one, which I've given them the engineer's certification on. It's roughly $100,000, $90,000, whatever. And so I'm providing a letter of credit for that while we complete that work. So I'll be 100% bonded on anything that I'm doing.
Well, Mr. Poindexter, I have a question for you, if you don't mind, please. So, if I understand this, and I'm not a planning guru, but when you finish a home, then there should be a sidewalk finished too, correct?
Yes, before they can get a CO, they have to put the
It's like there's
sidewalks.
people moved into the Terraces 1 there. There's people moving in there, and there's no sidewalk across. There's no sidewalk.
Well, I just installed the common area sidewalk and the male CBUs.
Absolutely, I know, and it wasn't there. I mean, we had to put up a big stink about that. I'm not giving you a hard time, but now the Terraces 1 has homes, people moving in, there's no sidewalks.
Okay, the builder, that is, I don't know how that happened because that's between the builder and.
Mr. Poindexter, I'm
Yes.
sorry, just so we have clean minutes, could you
Yes.
come to the lectern
Sure.
and
Sorry.
identify yourself?
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry. Jeremy, to be honest with you, I don't know how that happened because that's not really in my purview. That's between the builder and the building inspector who issues the COs. So how they got a CO without a sidewalk is beyond me because I don't construct those sidewalks. I handle all common area sidewalks. I finished the ones in the arbors and I've got the ones going in the terraces. So I really just don't know about that, but I'll tell you what I will do. I'll know about it as soon as I get out of here. And I'll call the builder and let them know that those need to go in immediately.
Where is the sidewalks that's not built?
Well, there's already homes moved, people moving into the Terraces right now.
I think two houses are occupied.
No sidewalks there. I mean, you open the streets, it's problematic.
That's on the sidewalks beside the street, right?
Yes, there's no sidewalks.
That's not part of the developers. Amy, sidewalk is not part of the developer's responsibility.
So he has posted bond for some of that sidewalk. So that is, they build it, in order to not destroy the sidewalk during construction of the house, we have been allowing them to build it and CO it, so as the house. So there will be places as the houses are built that there will be stretches where there's not any sidewalk because the house has not been constructed yet. So to your point, yes, there will be areas, if the lots are kind of a smattering of lots here and there like they are, then if I live here on lot 62, I may have to walk across 4 lots before I get to a lot that has been constructed and has a sidewalk. You are correct.
We just ran into a situation where we built a whole apartment complex with no sidewalk. So people are walking down a street for the last 2 years with no sidewalk. And then we had to, dig in about that. It's not, I just, doesn't make sense to me. I don't know how that happens.
Well, and if I can answer that, in the single-family subdivision development process, and I just did this in Wilmington and another neighborhood, so I speak from direct experience. If I went ahead and put in all the sidewalks, never should have done that, because now I'm battling with the city over accepting my roads because I have cracks in my sidewalks because all the builders that are building the houses are busting on my sidewalks.
Which that makes sense, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why the developers, Jeremy, typically are held to all the common area sidewalks, which I put in, and I put them in as fast as I can. I bonded these because of where they're located, but they're getting ready to go in. And I just put sidewalks in last week. So, like I said, I don't really have any control over the builder, but I have a relationship with the builder.
You're the one that comes back and puts the sidewalks in.
I don't put the sidewalks in front of the houses. I only put in common area, Doug, wherever I might have a stretch of common HOA property from one section of houses to the other.
Yeah.
That's my responsibility, and I've bonded that, if they're not already there.
I'm like Jeremy. My concern is, before we pass something, we need to know that what those cul-de-sacs, the sidewalks, and whatever else needs to be done gets done, so the town doesn't get stuck and the people that live there don't get stuck.
Exactly. That's why I'm following the bond.
And I just want to make sure anything we pass tonight does not conflict, as far as Amy's concerned, doesn't put us in a conflict, so we stay clear of that. And I made a point several times, developers need to do what they're supposed to do, when they're supposed to do it, so the people that are in those developments that buy houses and lots don't get stuck.
I agree.
And we've had this happen.
Not in my development. Not in one of my developments. Not in one of my developments.
I'm not accused. No, I know. I live in one that you looked after and there was no problem.
I'm glad you remember that.
There was a little problems with the sewer, but we got it all corrected. But it wasn't a big problem. But that's my question to the attorney, or my question to Amy. Anything we do tonight does not conflict with that. Am I correct, Amy?
We allow letters of credit or bond for any work that has not been completed. At the end, if he doesn't do it, then we call the letter of credit, and we would let a contract, to complete that work.
Okay.
All right.
We generally have those, they're called performance guarantees categorically. They're generally over 100% of the engineer's estimate. Isn't that right, Ms. Kimes? Like 125?
125.
Right. So there's a buffer in there for inflation, if you will.
He just needs time, like tomorrow or Thursday, to get the letter and turn it in.
Well, that's different than what Jeremy was talking about.
Correct.
Yeah.
So the specific request right now from me through you guys is a conditional approval, simply so I don't have to wait another 30 days for the next council meeting. I'll have the letter of credit. The map's not going to be executed by the town until I deliver the letter of credit. That's the agreement, that's the intent, and that's my question.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
Yes. I make a motion, we approve, giving him the approval till we not issued the map until the letter of approval.
Letter of credit.
Letter of credit.
Letter of credit.
Okay.
I'll second it.
All in favor, raise your hand. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, manager's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Not a lack of things going on in town, that's for sure. I'm just going to hit a couple of the highlights. First, just wanted to kind of give you an update that there's not really a huge update on the federal project, other than, the validation report sits with the South Atlantic Division. We've been reaching out to our federal delegates, Rouser, Burr, and Tillis, to try to seek guidance and expedience for the town's project. And we do remain in contact with the Wilmington District, and they are certainly aware of our desire to get moving with the project. So just want to let you know that we are having conversations with our federal delegates up in Washington, D.C. to as they are a partner with this project and have been for the last 20 years, so we do appreciate their work. We're going to meet next Thursday at Shoreline Resiliency. Just an update for that is that the permitting is in place for the Living Shoreline project at Soundside Park. We'll be working with the Coastal Federation and their vendor Sandbar Oyster Company to install their oyster catcher product. I was able to visit a site in Topsail Beach to look at the installation, which did look really good, and we'll certainly coordinate a date in the coming weeks, depending on tides, to do the installation there at Soundside Park. So we're looking for a midday low tide to be able to do that. And if there's opportunities for volunteers to come out and help with the project, we'll certainly get that message out to the community. We have our project meeting with DOT tomorrow to discuss the South Shore stormwater projects, and I'll certainly follow up with council on the outcome and direction moving forward. It's our intention that DOT is going to take these projects over for construction, and we will remain the financial agent for that, the two grants in which we're administering with that. And been in contact with the funders, specifically Golden Leaf, and they're anticipating an update after our meeting tomorrow, and I'll certainly communicate that with them. Also, in regards to stormwater, the town, Mr. Price and his group are working with WK Dixon on a larger scale stormwater plan for our future, and this will encompass all areas of town, but specifically looking at our Del Mar Beach area as a sort of a targeted location, and try to put a pilot project together for that. And as we move through milestones of that, mostly a planning process, we'll certainly keep council updated, as there will be some outcomes of that we'll need to certainly discuss, particularly how we're going to fund future stormwater projects for the town. Well, I see Chief Hobbs in the audience. I thought everybody had left, but I'm sure everybody has seen, and if you have not, keep your eyes out, because the new trucks were delivered last week, 2 new fire trucks. So those are not in service yet. They are doing training on them and getting equipment moved over. So we're thrilled to see those in town, especially since we've seen delay in other equipment delivery across other departments. But you know, they're working hard, I know, to get that done, so we can get those in service as soon as possible. Also, too, you know, good news about the damaged truck that was in the accident. You know, I guess about a couple months ago. The frame is not in a condition where we cannot rehabilitate that and get it back in service, so we're moving forward with that. That'll be our primary, secondary truck after the new trucks are in service. So that's good news for us, because we were dealing with potential major insurance issues with the other driver. So that's good news to hear about that. We had an employee appreciation event last week. Just wanted to thank the Employee Appreciation Committee for putting that on and finding unique ways to recognize the hard work of our employees. So they worked with 2 ice cream shops, one on the island and one on the mainland, to provide a free scoop of ice cream for town staff. They were able to go in on their break, lunch break, et cetera, to go and do that. And I think that was very well received, so I appreciate you know, the dedication of council to allow staff to put events on like that. And out of 100 employees or so, we had about 58 show up, and I think that's very commendable. They stayed open you know, till 9 o'clock at night, so that additional shifts could come in. Police department mostly could benefit from that employee appreciation that they don't get to benefit from when we do hold some of these events. August 20th, the town will be sponsoring a beach sweep. So please look out for the details on our social media channels, as well as the website, on how the public and the community can help with that. I believe we'll be starting at 9 o'clock at Soundside Park and trying to distribute folks across the island to keep our beaches clean. Just real quick, Dr. Hill came and was introduced by Scott Franco this afternoon following this meeting at 6 o'clock at the Welcome Center at the beach. They will be holding a meet and greet, so anybody in the community is more than welcome to go over there and talk to Dr. Hill a little bit more and his plans for the chamber and certainly for Surf City moving forward in his new role. And then lastly, just wanted to let you know, which council, you know about this, but we've had numerous lightning strikes at all of our, not all of our town facilities, but our town facilities that has put a strain on employees having to manually operate things that we typically wouldn't. And those departments who have been impacted by this are going to be working with the clerk for file an insurance claim on some of the things that we've lost. For example, our water treatment plant, we had to go in and manually operate that for a night. Our security gate back here for police department was hit by lightning. So I don't understand what's going on, but nonetheless, just want to let you know that, we're certainly trying to be on top of this, and if there is an insurance claim that we can file, we certainly will to recuperate some of the money that we've had to spend. So with that being said, be able to answer any questions that you have, council, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. All right. Mr. John, put you up first.
I don't really have too much to say other than thank you very much for coming out, and have a good week. Short and sweet.
Okay. Mr. Buddy.
Have no comment.
No comment.
Oh, it's moving fast.
Teresa's got some. She'll take care of your time.
I was just going to say, again, congratulations to Jason Hartsfield for all his hard work and dedication to the town, and looking forward to see the mural, all the submissions that we can see what's going to go up on our wall. Then just like to, for us to remember the officers and the incident that happened yesterday in Wayne County, just to keep their families and their departments in our thoughts and prayers. So,
Mr. Don.
I just want to thank all of our employees for the work they do. And also I thank the beautification committee for their hard work. And I hope everybody has a good weekend. That's all I've got.
Okay.
And I have nothing to say, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You gonna have a busy weekend?
I am in a busy month.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
It
has not stopped.
He's been run ragged lately.
It is not. Somebody asked me the other day, they go, "You all right?" I'm like, yeah. Somebody said in the beginning of summer, I can't remember who was it, they said there's less people coming to the beach. Ah!
I know.
Ah!
No.
Whoever said that, I'm telling you, man, they need to check up from the neck up. Anyway, I'm telling you. So thank you so much, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. All right. I appreciate everybody being here that is here. And like most of them said, I appreciate all the work that our employees do. They work hard all the time, and sometimes they have a lot more work to do than other times. Right, David? And it's just the way it happens. But anyway, they're always looking after stuff for our town. Yeah, I'm going to get him in a minute. Anyway, they do work hard, so we appreciate it. Police department, the fire department, and the maintenance, and all of them. They do a fantastic job. And then we got a guest here tonight, and on the 15th of this month in Burgaw, he will be sworn in. Is that right, Jimmy?
Yes, and I'm not a guest, that's what my opponent said.
He lives here.
Yeah, he is a resident, but it's at 4:30, right? So if anybody wants to see him sworn out or sworn in, be in Burgaw on the 15th at 4:30.
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock? Okay, 4 o'clock.
can we take the activity bus? The chief will drive the activity bus, won't you? Can you drive the activity bus to Burgaw?
I'm not sure how good the air conditioner works on that thing.
It don't.
But anyway, He will be, he's already on the board. But no, but you're setting up there though, right? You're with them? You've been leading them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But he will officially be sworn in on the 15th, and he doesn't have any competition next time, so he'll still be there, right? After the election. So anyway, thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate the work you've done for us in the past, and certainly look for all the work you do for us in the future and all the money that you send our way. That is thanks. And then also, we got the business registration, which is started last month, and Misty carried it on by hand for a while, and now we finally got it into computers in the town, so you can register online now. But you can always contact her if you have any trouble doing that. And at the present, we have 236 businesses registered. So, and I was looking at something the other day that the Wilmington business thing put out, and they said we had 115 businesses in Surf City. So we need to get up with them and correct that. 115 businesses was a while back, and I'm sure that the 236 is not the total, but we'll get there. And then also, with the, Misty's been working with the fire department and the volunteer fire department, and they have been doing a fantastic job, by the way, with the patrolling the beach. And we're trying to get him more equipment, so they're taking donations, and we've had Surf City Pier donate, Coastal Wings and Spirits, Surf City Jet Ski Rentals, Board and Brush, Lewis Realty, Supercuts, Surf City Line, Loggerhead Inn, Surf City Fitness, The Trailer Bar, Lanier's Campground, and Jeanette Abelson. And so according to this, though, we've still got about, 220 businesses to go before we get all of them donated. And so anyway, but he's working on it, and that's what's helping pay for these flags that we've got on the beach and the cans that they've got. And then we're working on getting a jet ski also, which will make it a lot easier to go get people, right? And he runs it. Don't you run the jet ski? Are you running the jet ski? Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, but they take a lot of training. Now, we've got the only, what is the organization that we've got?
The only ARRT in the state of North Carolina, which is Aquatic Rapid Response Team, and it's for agencies like fire department that dual. We do fire suppression as well as ocean rescue. So it's we're not lifeguards, but we're aquatic rescue response team members that focus on response and not prevention. We're working towards that beach observance full-time with stands one day, so maybe one day we'll end up with a totally guarded beach or partial in Surf City one day to make it safer.
So if there's any businesses that want to help sponsor that, which is an excellent opportunity, and I think, have we got another regular, any other place on the beach that is regularly patrolled like we patrol ours? I don't think so. So that is something that we've added in the last couple of years, and they are building on it. And so if you want to volunteer and help out a little bit as far as monetarily, just contact the police department or contact Misty, and she'll get you money. So anyway, we appreciate it. But let's see, I guess I got Jimmy in there, so I guess we got everything done now, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'll let him. We don't want him to report on Jimmy now. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Attorney, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mayor. Real quickly, and I hope this won't be applicable anytime soon, but on July 8th, Senate Bill 435 was passed by the General Assembly. It modified Chapter 166A of the General Statutes and now requires it requires a town to post conspicuously on its website as well as report to the Department of Public Safety Web EOC Critical Incident Management System when a local state of emergency or its restrictions expire. You may recall back at the beginning of COVID, they passed a law requiring us to put the passage of a state of emergency on our website and register it with the state. This law simply kind of bookends the back half of that. Once it expires, you have to tell the public on your website and the state's critical management system. Again, hopefully that won't be applicable anytime soon. We have a thing to talk about in closed session. Other than that, that's all I have.
I hope we don't have to use that this year.
Or next year, or the following year.
That's right. Get through 1 year at a time anyway.
Yes, sir. One season at a time. Something to talk about in closed session to preserve the attorney-client privilege. Other than that, that concludes my report, and I thank you.
Okay, do I have a motion to go in closed session?
I'll make a motion, we go into closed session.
I'll second it.
General Statute 143-318.11, parentheses A3.
I got a motion and a second. Is all in favor? Okay.
And for the public's benefit, A3 is to consult with the town attorney and to preserve the attorney-client privilege.
All righty. motion that we go back in session?
Make a motion, I'll make a motion.
Motion? Got a second?
I second it.
All in favor?
Raise your hand.
What?
Raise your hand if you're in favor.
I'll go back in
Of
session.
going back in session.
I agree.
There's three of us, that's a quorum, we're good.
In session?
We're not
In
gonna make
session,
an
Teresa?
amendment. The lawyer
You
said
agree?
he don't.
Okay. All right.
He said we
Here.
didn't need to.
Okay, there was nothing, no business was conducted in closed session. So, do I have a motion to
Make a
adjourn?
motion, we,
I will make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, second.
second.
All in favor, raise your hand. We are adjourned.